Hello everybody, welcome to the third episode of Pre-Order Power Hour. We're so happy to have you here. We got a little new setup going on, a little more professional setup.
Upgrade!
Yeah. So it's great to see you guys. We're going to be talking about some new books. We're going to start off by talking, we've been doing the books we've been reading, but we're also going to expand this to books and other media we've been indulging in, so we have an excuse to talk about X-Men 97 mainly.
Basically.
Absolutely.
Don't do it, man.
Hold it in, Funky.
So did anybody want to start off?
Hate it. I don't know. I mean, it's just been, I guess, as someone who hasn't watched the original show or has only seen a few episodes coming into this new adaptation, I was a little like, I'll just check it out. The animation seems cool from the trailer, and each episode I have been continuously blown away by not only the production aspects, but also just the story as a whole. It's been fantastic. I mean, it's only gotten better.
Yeah, I hadn't seen the original show either, but I watched a longer recap of it.
He actually did the research.
And I'm in too deep.
If you're in too deep, then you're going to go back and come rent my freaking DVDs of all of the rest of the series and watch all of them. So as someone who grew up with the show and watched that shit on Saturday mornings religiously and actually ingested all of the original media as a child, as it was meant to be, it felt like coming home. It felt like, I watched the first episode and I watched with my husband who hadn't watched the original series. And I was just
nice.
it's where's my cereal?
I felt the exact same way. I'm like, I need a bowl of cereal. Like, no justice can be done if I don't have my cereal.
I had to make pancakes, man.
You have to do the ritual.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I was on vacation when the first two dropped, so I was like, yes, I could just go and Wednesday morning have a breakfast and sit.
It feels good just being able to wait for something every week and just looking forward to the new episode dropping. It's
been a long time.
It's nice to anticipate a show. It's been a while since a show came out where you actually have to anticipate it. I have a very limited time to watch TV like you guys do, and so it's really nice to. I'm always late to everything. The boys tease me all the time because I'm like, oh, I just watched this thing, and they're like, gee, that was 8 months ago. But it feels like coming home. It feels like they just picked it up exactly right where it started, or right where it left off, and it started off with the same amount of intensity. As soon as as soon as Storm showed up and used her voice, I was like, oh, they're keeping it. They're keeping on. They're keeping it. They're keeping everything. And so that was really, really cool.
Yeah, and it was just an upgrade too. Kept everything, but the writing's been solid. The animation is super polished. When
the animation,
the team, I was super confident because I know some of the people on the team and know of the work they've done. So it was cool. Jake being one of the leads. He did the Batman Ninja Turtles movie.
That was a really dope movie, by the way.
And, he did
the choreography was spot on.
Yeah, he did the what's it called, the Return of the Supermans.
That one was cool too. That one was tight.
And a few other things. He was a lead for a number of things. Chase Connolly. He's a great storyboard artist for action sequences. So right away when he's the lead for action sequences, I was like, oh, these fight scenes are gonna be outrageous.
Yeah,
dude,
and they are.
My favorite thing so far is facial expressions. The characters, just how animation has transformed in the last 20 years or however long it's been since the show's on. The Jubilee doing a close up and just seeing her facial expressions and being like, oh, that's just how I imagine it when I read the comic books. And the thing that I loved about the show when I was a kid, because I was into comics when I was a kid and immersed in comics as a kid, and so it's really tangible in the cartoon that you can go and pick up the storyline and be like, oh, this is that Claremont run where this and this and this happens, and I would go and look into the comics and be like, oh, this is the one from the show. And so I think that to me, when I was watching it as a kid, it was so exciting because not only was it accessible, but it was really comprehensive. The original show covered a ton of stuff. There's Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister and Omega Red and like all these major storylines from when I was a kid that were put into the show that made you want to go and look at the comic books. And I think that this is what is so exciting about the new show is like, you know, you want to see the trial of Magneto. You want to go to the hideout and go through our bins and find out that what happened and see it for when it really happened. And so there's a lot of nuance too, right? There's a lot of like hinting at different relationships and stuff. And for me, as a big X-Men fan, like X-Men's always been my favorite comic. The most cool part about it is a soap opera. Everyone is super into each other, and there's so much interpersonal drama. Anytime you have a team book, you know, it's like having a band. There's always some crazy shit happening, and people always have hurt feelings, and people always have to be the leader and get shit done. And then there's also crazy sentinels that are trying to murder everyone.
Yeah, no,
So,
exactly. Like, just going into the X-Men in general, I had a friend who was streaming, and she was just like, hey, you know, talk about the X-Men. I'm like, I'm going to need a six-pack, and then I'll just walk you through the entirety of it. Just give you a cork board of everything.
dude, we used to joke about that when I was here, back in the days when I was here all of the time. We used to say that we wanted to do X-Men history, drunk history with GLYNNES. Drunk X-Men history, really where I would just go through all the storylines and be like, and then...
Because there's so many teams, just so many relationships, and then it bleeds over into other things.
I think that if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to see a Drunk History X-Men edition, please let us know in the comments or in DMs.
Email us.
Let us know, because I have a handful of people that would be experts in this that would join us, and it would be really fun. I would love to do it with cosplayers acting out.
Amazing.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
That'd be hilarious.
I want to do, just for my own shits and giggles, and because I think it would be fantastic, Drunk History X-Men edition with cosplayers acting out the drunk history, and me and some of my buddies that have been reading X-Men for more than I've been alive to do the history of it, because I think that would be really, really fun.
Yeah, just the sheer amount of like story and stuff. Like, you could have a long sitcom series with that.
Oh,
Just,
yeah.
Should we segue that into some more nostalgia? Like, we got Marvel versus DC.
yeah.
It's Marvel versus DC.
Is this like...
Good job, Funky.
I saw Marvel versus, I'm like, Marvel versus Capcom 4, baby. It's back. It's back. And then, you know, like, just saw Marvel versus, I'm like, I don't need to read the rest. It's Marvel 4. Then, no,
And then
it's
it
Marvel.
wasn't.
No.
It's Marvel
Unfortunately,
versus
Infinite
a
still
reprint.
exists.
No.
But it's an omnibus, and it's going to be cool, and it's limited.
Probably. I don't know. It could
Probably-
be like the
probably
JLA,
allocated.
like
It's-
Perez one where everybody wants it.
I mean, I would
Give
hope
top
not,
31.
since it's
Hopefully
not tied to
'Cause
like
I don't
a
know when's the
foundation.
last time
Like last
that
time.
Marvel and DC got together to
Yeah,
print
it's
it.
very
When
up
they
in the
needed
air.
money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very, very.
I mean, I think
There's
it'll
a cool
definitely be
Jim Lee.
That's true.
exclusive
Jim Lee's going to be
coming
doing
out.
variants for both the DC versus Marvel and the amalgam omnibus that they're doing. The amalgam variant wraparound that he is doing has been released, but not the DC versus.
And then that's just black and white too.
Yeah, it's just black and white so far.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll
It's not
he'll
final.
color it.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's not coming out until August or September. I think.
Yeah, we got a while. Hang on.
Yeah, but the pre-order.
Oh, yeah, we have the
will
date.
be,
Pre-orders are in, and get your pre-orders in early, because if they do allocate it, we're going to give it to the first people that pre-order it. So first come, first serve
Oh, it
on
helps. It helps so much.
I hope they don't allocate it.
It's
I
early
want
August.
a copy.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I had the space.
that. We also have nostalgia. There's a Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe reprint coming out.
Facsimile,
Facsimile.
which
Like,
that's
a
exciting.
a must-have if you're a Deadpool fan or getting into Deadpool.
Yeah.
That is,
Ramon,
like,
you're a big Deadpool kills.
Yeah, because that was like the first comic I remember like picking up from a store and like reading. Actually, like I'm sure I picked up others before that, but that was like one of the first ones I remember like going to the store and it would like just came out, or it was
Such a baby.
it was the second printings of issues 1 and 2 that I picked up, which were, I think they were like black and white J. Scott Campbell covers, like sketch covers that were
They're really
rad
hard.
as hell.
They're hard.
And I definitely read them way too young because they're so fucked up. But
Graphic, yeah.
if you haven't read them and you want a way to read them and like or at least read the first issue to see if it's something you'd like, definitely pick up the facsimile. That first issue has Deadpool blowing off Spider-Man's head, and it's tight. It's so rad. It's not a spoiler because it's been out for like a decade.
That's true.
It has been out for a
Like
long time.
how
What's
he
the rules on
off
spoilers?
Luke Cage, that's like,
How does he off Luke
If it's been
Cage?
out for like 2 weeks, don't spoil
shoves,
it,
like,
Funky. You can't talk about
he
next
reversed
time.
him
But 2
particles.
months.
Like he has him like swallow something.
Oh.
He's like, okay, I got.
That is an actual spoiler.
Okay, yeah.
Come on.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it's been out for a while.
I apologize. I skipped way down on the list talking about the nostalgia. We'll get back.
Yeah.
Ramon here, as our fearless leader for the podcast, has made a comprehensive list of all the coolest stuff that's coming.
Hi ho.
Most of this stuff is coming out in June, so that means that you can get your pre-orders in now, put it on your poll, get your orders in, so that we can get it when it comes out in June, and you'll be first in line for it.
Yeah, and then some of them are stuff that is like probably out right now, but
Yeah.
the pre-order for like issue 3's out. So
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
two. You know, it just helps us stay on top of all the stuff.
All right, and then on to some of the next stuff that's coming out. There's a sequel to Batman Gotham by Gaslight that they're doing.
Oh, I actually really liked that when it came out. I
Yeah.
thought that was super cool and fun.
I mean, it's Victorian Mignola in Batman. And
How
it's
can you not like it?
Like,
Yeah.
I know
everybody loves him.
it's
Everyone loves him.
it's a fun little one shot, and I think that's the power of Elseworld stories in general. It's just being able to do cool one shot stories, and if they're cool enough to warrant a sequel, then hopefully the sequels are
Decades later.
Yeah.
decades later. Then hopefully the sequels are good. You know,
It's not,
Like-
this isn't a one shot though. This is a
that's
This
true.
is an ongoing.
it's a 12. Well, it's a 12 issue. It's a
A mini,
mini.
a mini maxi series. Is 12 count as a mini?
I think 12 is now officially a maxi series. I think
Right?
6 issues is a
Six
mini
is a
series.
mini-series.
Such a silly name.
A maxi series.
Maxi.
Yeah.
But maybe it's because my cat's name is Max. But then we also
So
have
is everyone in Utah's cat.
there's
I
a
saw a
new
list.
Wow.
there's a new DC Pride coming out in a couple months.
DC Prides are always fantastic.
cool.
They have great covers. They're actually like really fun and silly, and usually heartfelt. So check them out.
Yeah, speaking of covers, they actually are doing just one issue that's full of just all the covers.
That's true. They've been
Because
doing
they
that
have
more.
they've had just a slew of banging covers for
Yeah,
those.
and
So
the main cover that they're using on is a beautiful Jen Bartel cover
Yep,
that was
the,
like a limited a
was
limited
something-
one from last year. I
Yeah, it
think.
was
Yeah.
some crazy like incentive variant where people are just like, why isn't this the B cover? Like,
we all
Yeah.
want this cover, which is now why it's the cover of the covers book.
Yep.
Covers.
Yep.
The most popular cover of the covers book gets to be on the cover of the covers book.
Yeah.
Nice. And then so the next book we're going to be talking about is well, it's actually I don't know if it's like its own book or if it's going to be like an event book through multiple books.
The
But it's
Absolute Power. Who knows? Run down on Absolute Power. I think you know a little bit.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
a little bit what's going on. Like,
Yeah, give us the
whatever you
rundown.
do not look it up. DC spoiled a bunch of their other series.
DCs have been spoiling so much
Yeah,
of their
it's-
own material.
it's-
Don't
it's
look it up.
insane.
Just
Yeah.
ask Funky. He'll spoil it for you.
I think
Not intentionally.
Yeah, I think DC and Warner, they came across like, some stuff of ours and they're like, this man is a menace. We have to beat him. Like,
We're gonna beat Funky to our own spoilers. We're just gonna spoil it
He's too
ourselves.
good.
So what is Absolute Power about?
so all the events that have been coming up throughout the years with DC, it's been a buildup of hinting that Amanda Waller has something in her back pocket. And she's going to use that something to like take down all the villains and all the heroes. And she's just going to basically be this power head that kind of almost rules the DC universe with an iron fist. It's been kind of interesting because she's been having the Suicide Squad just get a bunch of ancient artifacts like the Helmet of Hate, potentially also the other lasso. I think also I'm blanking on like the new
Black
lasso.
Lasso?
Yeah, the Black Lasso.
there's 2 new lassos.
Yeah, there's
So is she trying to level the playing field? Or?
yes. From what I've kind of read with all the other events, it's pretty much this like, yes, humanity needs to like be up, like have something against like these godlike beings. It's a way to kind of level the playing field.
X-Men.
Yeah, pretty much yes. It's
I don't know. I just like that sounds so.
You know, I heard a governor.
And then the next one we're going to talk about is going to be My Adventures with Superman, which is going to be a spin-off of the animated show they just released, I think last year. It's going to take place in between the first and second season, and I'm very excited because I loved the animated series. It was very, it was silly. It was more of a kid's show that first season, but like it very much, and I just love Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid is great Superman in that show.
He is
so
really
good.
Good
and
casting.
I think it's the best, like, just pure joy, like, I know, it just feels like Superman. Like, everything Superman recently, like, since, like, Man of Steel, I feel like, outside of the comics, has just been, like, so...
Jesus allegory superhero.
Yeah, like,
It's
something, like, him
Does
being...
it bring you back to Smallville?
I never watched Smallville.
Oh, it's because you're too young.
I was like...
It's because you're too young.
I think it's just something that Zack Snyder needs to take notes on if he ever wants to touch another DC property ever again.
What do you mean, make it really gritty? Like
No, I think if he just wants to make a good superhero movie, he actually needs to read the comics and actually
Shots
Oh
fired.
my God, yeah.
adapt the characters with the love and intention that they deserve.
G might like Adventures just because Superman straight up does a Sailor Moon transformation.
Yeah, he does. He does. Like, he absolutely does.
It's so great. It's just so...
It's
fun.
very much just like everything great about Superman, where it's just hope for humanity, just hells yeah humans, and just fun sci-fi
He's a
adventures.
silly guy.
Now in comics.
I think that what you said that I really, really want to touch on again is there's a joy. There's a joy that's being brought into it where it, like, I'm here to sell nostalgia, right? That's what I do at the Comic Book Hideout, is I give people back their childhood for like 5 to 10 minutes at a time when you read a comic book.
That's beautiful, man.
And so, well, it's important to know that when you pick up a book, I mean, not everything has to be the new plastic, right? That's like just really
dear
just
God.
like yuck. But you know, when you read a comic, there should be. And I mean, there's comics are versatile, and there's a little bit of something for everyone. So this isn't for everything all the time, but there should be this sense of fun and nostalgia and escapism. Like, we're all living in this world that's just. I mean, I don't even need to put that on the table. We're just living in this world that can get us down. And so by reading a comic book, you're stepping into a fantasy where there can be joy and love and hope and heroes that you can root for and people that you can daydream about and things that can warm your heart and make you laugh. And I think that Superman, of all, has gone through so many transformations, but his original comic books, like our favorite thing to laugh about is when we get Silver Age Superman in, and Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen, because that kind of stuff, that just brings this like absolute silliness and joy and fun of what can we think of next? You know, what can be next on these great adventures?
Because sometimes when you crack open a book, you just want to feel like you just woke up Saturday morning in your PJs, got your cereal, got your hot cocoa, and you're just ready to go.
And you know that there is good to be had out there, right? And I think that coupled in that is like, you know, X-Men is giving us like, oh, this is allegory to real world drama. This is really tugging on our heartstrings for things that are happening, and we're giving love and empathy to people that need it, because the world can be a hard place, but we should all still have hope and love for each other. And in the same vein, right, Superman's doing something that is, you know, it did this really fun, silly, crazy thing, and then it got real dark, and the allegory got real biblical, and it got real fucking weird for a minute, and then it came back, and now it can be this fun, joyful thing again. And I think that most of the time DC is so busy trying to nudge out Marvel and who can be the hardest. It's hard for them to remember that, you know, not only Harley Quinn gets to be funny and silly and campy, you know, not only does Peacemaker get to be a total dingbat.
Batman can be fun and silly.
Yeah,
But Batman can be fun and silly.
Run recently has been kind
Yes.
of
Yeah,
that.
that-
Yeah, and I think that
they didn't forget.
the animated series for DC has they've been holding it down. They've been holding it down for ages, right? Because the movies have been hit or miss, and some of them are really fun and wackadoo, and some of them are total garbage. But the animated series, I think, for DC has been consistent, and it's really nice to see the comics reflect that same kind of reverence for the characters.
Well, that's why I think like and this is kind of tying back into what we were talking about with the 97 show of like, that's why I think adapting comics into different mediums is so important because you're able to, express characters in different ways through animation, through live action, and you're able to do these spins on characters that are able to show that love and respect for the character that you just can't really do through comics, and you're able to get people to like pick up an X-Men book or pick up a Superman book. It's like, oh, that was really fun. Like, I'm gonna see like what this character's about, and then like you get to be put onto these series, and I just think like that's why like good movies and good adaptations are just so important for these characters. That's why like I don't hate you, Zack Snyder. I don't hate those movies. I just
Redacted.
like
That was a quick apology.
Ramon, edit out the previous comment.
no. Keep it in because I do hate those movies, but I don't hate Zack Snyder. I just think that good movies and good adaptations are important, and those I don't think those movies.
They
are
give
good
you a
adaptations.
reason to fall in love with the characters in a
Yes.
new way that helps you to go back to the source material. Just like a movie based on a good book, right?
Yes. Either way, a little sidetracked.
Sorry.
Let's get back to talking about comics. Funky, what do you got for us?
The movie podcast could be something else.
Yeah.
There's too many of those already.
Yeah. We got a couple more DC.
Yeah, we got a few more DC. Also, I'm gonna go back really quick. The days that certain books are gonna come out. The DC Pride is gonna be releasing. I think the 28th of next month. Absolute
In
Powers.
Pride Month?
Uh,
How convenient.
My Adventure with Superman comes out the following month, and then Absolute Powers releases April 23rd. The next book we're jumping into is Batman 148, which is going to be the new Dark Prisons arc. You guys know what that is going to be?
I mean, I slightly know. The main thing I know, I've been flipping through the issues. I know that Zernar's in a freaky robo body, and he's
My favorite.
he's beating up Batman and the Bat family. And I mean, Jorge Jimenez has been killing it on art. So if you're gonna pick up that book for anything, it's the art. But I appreciate Chip for bringing out Zer again and doing something cool with him, doing something new and fun. You can always count on Chip for that.
Again,
So
God bless Chip.
God bless
Still-
Chip Zdarsky.
Still waiting
love
on
it.
that Spobin, the Man Wonder.
Yeah, he's great at pulling back
Yeah.
old things,
Yeah.
storylines.
There's
I mean-
so much. The river is deep,
Yeah.
there's so much stuff to pull from.
Yeah, and that's why a run like Morrison's is so important because it's a run that really focuses on the reverence for those really early Silver Age stories that most people are just like, oh, that was fucking silly. Batman's on Mars and Robin fucking dies from this crazy little alien robo thing, and then it's like, oh no, Batman went through this mental torture to fucking create this whole new persona in case he goes rogue or whatever. And it's I'm glad that we're getting back to that with Batman of doing some cool retro stuff, but modernizing it into some cool stuff. And I mean, get Jorge on any book, and I'll pick it up or at least flip through it.
Next book we're talking about is Zatanna, Bring Down the House #1. I really like Zatanna.
Yeah.
I'm excited that Zatanna has a book because Kara is also very excited about Zatanna's book. Oh, really? Tell us more. No, we won't just edit you out like we do every time. Oh, we never let you get to have your own opinions. I know. Go on. She's like, why are we here so late? It's past my bedtime. I should be at home. There could be skunks out. So anyways, Zatanna is awesome. She never gets an ongoing series. She's always in miniseries. They like to just keep her under the hat, you know.
And she's got an awesome writer for this one.
She does, and I'm actually really excited about it. I think that, you know,
Always bought your name.
Mariko
yeah.
Tamaki.
There we go.
Yeah.
Mariko
she's gonna
Tamaki
be in,
is going to be good. She's a really rad character, and she
Yeah.
has some cool stuff going on. I love when they bring her into Justice League Dark, because then she actually is the only one that can, like, get anything done and, like, figure shit out.
Yeah.
And I feel like Wonder Woman's always OP for that team.
Yep.
And so Zatanna always gets, like, second fiddle, but her and Constantine have a good time, and, you know, we need more DC magic shit.
Yeah, and also
Fun.
Javier Rodriguez is doing the art, and Defenders Beyond was really sick. And given that it's Zatanna and it's magic, I'm excited to see what he's gonna do with like the panel layouts, and hopefully see some cool stuff out of that.
Yeah, there's already previews for it, and
Yeah,
like
there's previews
yeah, it
and
looks
really cool.
amazing.
That's true. That's
Like,
true. Really sick stuff.
Really cool
the
cover.
the A
Even
cover,
more cheesecake.
the first cover. Come
much
on,
cheesecake.
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
man.
How
on,
much
man.
fishnets?
Oh,
can we
all
put
the
her in?
fishnets.
Oh, I
Oh.
want a suit of fishnets. Done.
Good story too.
But also,
Oh my God, we've only just finished DC.
Yeah, and then that
Oh,
guy's
God.
gonna be coming out June 2nd.
We'll
I think we
hammer
need to
through
blast.
Marvel
We need
'cause
to
Yeah, no,
blast.
we're gonna-
through-
Blood Hunt.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't need to talk
Yeah, we
about
can
all
jump-
Blood
we can
Hunt.
jump
If you
through
wanna,
some
if
right
you
now. We
wanna
can just jump up to
Yeah.
get
yeah.
into those mini titles, you'll know which ones you want.
There's like
we don't need to
When
talk
we
about
get
all
to
of
there's
them.
like
Blood Hunt,
20
we're
of
just
them.
gonna ramble off a list
So
of
we
all
should
the
just
characters.
talk about Blood Hunt now,
Yeah.
because we're already here.
Yeah, we
So
can just jump to Marvel now.
Let's
we can
just do Marvel, and then we'll go back to the indies.
Okay.
So Blood Hunt is a major crossover event, and as major crossover events go,
Yeah.
you know there will be way too many tie-ins.
Okay, but this is a little
but-
too much.
Yeah, it's
But-
like
but-
90 some odd.
But you need to make sure you pre-order the ones that you actually want, because we're not going to order all of them, because there's almost 100.
Yeah.
And that's insane.
We are not-
They're doing one
yeah.
for like every single character.
Yeah, we are
So-
not going
And
to
it made sense
pre-order
'cause it's
like
literally affecting their whole world.
Yeah.
I ain't reading all that.
yeah, we are not pre-ordering like 10 copies of Hamster Huey and the Gooey Kablooey tie-in for Blood Hunts. Like,
So if you want it, order it, because otherwise we're not going to get it.
Yeah.
And this is, you know, we love crossover stories when they're good, and we love crossover stories when the characters that are being showcased and highlighted are awesome. We don't need one for every single fucking
yeah,
character.
like as long as it's fun. I don't want to be a negative Nancy or negative Nate, but there's just too many. Like, just focus on the characters. Like the Jubilee one looks fun because it's like it's a good callback. It's a good callback, but a Miles one.
They want that sweet arachnid blood.
The radioactive arachnid
And his
blood.
miles is
Spider
spicy.
blood.
Oh, my
Electricity. Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
So if you want a Blood Hunt book, order it.
Do we want to just ramble off? There's a Wolverine. There's a Jubilee. There's a Psylocke.
Venom, Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange. That one does look dope. I mean, Vengeance of Moon Knight one, that's a given.
That'll
That's-
be cool.
Yeah.
He is finding all those vampires that owe him money, and he is taking he's taking names like they probably owe him like $5,000, like $5,000 in total. Like,
And then there's also a Midnight Suns crossover that they're doing.
yes, okay,
Yeah.
that one, yes.
The
That
Black
one will be
Panther
getting
one looks
some.
cool.
Yep.
Scotty's doing a handful of the variants.
Of
Oh,
course
Scotty.
he is. If you want Scotty Young variants, please order them, because we are going to
go
get.
quick.
They
They
do.
go
They
really
do.
quick, and we want to make sure that they're getting into your pool if you want them, because we'll put them on the wall and they'll be gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And then next for Marvel, the X-Men number 35 is going to
A
be
regular
coming out.
book.
Yes. So that's going to be like the end of this like current era of X-Men.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
that's
The
the
Krakoa-
they're cutting it at 34.
It's
What?
Are they cutting it at 34?
35.
Each,
Oh,
each-
35.
much
Okay,
depth.
that makes
Each
it's like,
issue is
why
so
would
much.
why would they cut it off at an even number? That's not. You don't do that.
You know, it's at 35.
I need Mike Cooper to come in and tell me all about X-Men.
Yeah,
I need to.
he
give-
can be on the Drunk X-Men podcast.
Okay, Mike,
Yep.
I'm talking to you, babe. You got to come be on my Drunk X-Men podcast and tell everyone about what's current in X-Men.
Yep.
Yeah,
He always catches me up.
Yeah, he does the same with me too. Yeah, there's a handful of X people.
We love you,
Yes.
Mike. Love your art. We
Yes.
love you keeping us up to date with the crazy world of X-Men.
Much appreciated.
Because there's a lot.
And they're using that to introduce the whole legacy number. So they're bringing back it's
why?
X-Men, Uncanny X-Men. There's
And
X-Force,
Yep.
Exceptional. It's a whole new list.
Oh,
Yep.
NYX.
Our X-Men back issue section is really well organized, super well stocked, and full of all of those great legacy titles. So you can come in and scoop them all up to continue on your legacy X-Men journey.
Yeah, Uncanny X-Men, number 700.
Yep, 700.
Hey man,
Damn.
somebody out there has got them all
sorry.
in one box.
Yeah, and then
You can't have 700 comics in a box.
But you can try. Wouldn't recommend it, especially with the number one.
Yeah. And then moving on from X-Men, we got next Uncle Scrooge, the Infinity Coin.
This one I'm actually kind of excited for. Like,
Tell us about it, then.
so yeah, it's to go try to do like the original kind of Uncle Scrooge stuff, make it a bit more adventure-y, a bit more like Uncle Scrooge-y, kind of like the original Don Bluth comics. They got Alex Ross doing like the A cover. It's like it literally took me a while. I'm like,
so
oh man,
big.
this is like a well-drawn Uncle Scrooge. I wonder who did it. Oh, it's Alex Ross.
This is so big.
It's painted.
It's painted, yeah. No, it's him just diving into like a pool of money.
Yeah, it looks like he went to heaven immediately.
Yeah. But yeah, flipping through like the description, bunch of writers, it sounds like it's a love letter to like DuckTales, the original Uncle Scrooge.
Is it going to be a one-shot, or is it going to
Yeah,
be
it's
an...
one-shot.
It's a one shot.
Okay.
But this is gonna mark like first official, like in a long time, Marvel, Disney produced comics.
Yeah.
Like
And-
since they bought them and all that.
Dang.
And
Yeah, because the Disney comics have been separate always
Yep.
up until this point, right?
All the new stuff you've been getting, like
It was,
villains
yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Dynamite.
Yeah,
which,
like
yeah.
They licensed that off.
Can
like
we-
Hercules is through Dynamite and stuff. But yeah, the Scrooge, Uncle Scrooge is gonna be like one of the first ones, and then they just announced that they're gonna start doing what if series, like what if Donald Duck was Wolverine.
Yes,
Oh,
that has
Wait,
been.
wait, are they
that has-
finally-
they're actually
that
following
has-
through on those covers?
That
Yeah,
has
they're gonna-
been
okay,
all
do it full-fledged.
over.
Yeah, so
Wow.
Yeah.
now they're not just the ASM variant covers. So good. Good.
So it's not,
But-
it's not just going to be an issue of Amazing Spider-Man.
It's
Yes,
not-
it's
yeah.
gonna be an actual
Own thing.
actual story inside of it.
But why?
But yeah, no.
Because Disney's down the street.
They are down the street. They are down the street. But yeah, no. Infinity Dime.
So you can go and be mad at them in person.
Yes.
But yeah,
Don't say that out loud, G.
it's kind of like.
The mouse is watching.
But to
Get
mark
the
this
ears.
to mark this big occasion, they also put in a reprint of Christmas on Bear Mountain, so you can read the very first Uncle Scrooge comic.
That's cool.
So yeah,
Cool.
it's a little nice touch. Like, are you excited about that also?
He loves Uncle Scrooge.
Yeah.
Ramon, what's next? What's next?
We got the,
He is a duck.
Oh, yeah.
You know how she feels about ducks.
Absolutely love ducks.
yeah, and then we got the next after that like round of the Ultimate comics. We got Ultimate Black Panther 5, Ultimate Spider-Man 6, and Ultimate X-Men 4 all releasing.
And they've all been crushing it with like the Ultimate Universe. Like,
Yeah, no. So far, all the books have been great. I've been really enjoying all of them. Ultimate Black Panther. I'm surprised. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy that one as much since it was kind of like I feel like the one most people weren't as excited about. But it's really fun, and all the stuff they're doing with Storm, like showing up, or like regular Storm, because then you got May Storm in
Yep.
Ultimate X-Men, but Aurora.
Main Storm and Black Panther.
Yeah, so she's been really cool in that.
And
But,
it's low key a Moon Knight book
Yeah.
also.
Not
Yeah.
really.
Well,
I've
It's
noticed
not.
like,
It's barely it's not a Moon Knight book.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not a Moon Knight. Moon Knight is like a villain, but it's not
Moon Knight. It's
not
not
Moon Knight.
Mark.
Yeah.
It's not like there's no guy with a hood. It's
Yeah, it's-
Khonshu and Ra working
it's-
together, and together they're known as Moon Knight.
Yeah, it's not Mark Spector hopped up on ketamine and like
it.
terrorizing Wakanda. But I would read that. I would read Mark Spector terrorizing Wakanda, hopped up on ketamine.
I just brought it up because
Yeah.
like half our Moon Knight people jumped on the Black Panther that don't read Black
Yeah.
Panther.
Because Moon Knight's in it, but it's not.
Moon Knight's in it.
It's
Yeah.
but it's not like
Technically, yeah.
Technically, but it's
6'6"
not Mark
Moon Knight.
Spector.
It's very different. But yeah. So then the Ultimate Black Panther is coming. 5 is coming out the 26th of June. Ultimate Spider-Man the 19th of June, and then Ultimate X-Men 4 the 12th of June.
Yeah, I'm honestly very excited to see how Ultimate X-Men goes.
Yeah.
I've been loving it. It just feels like the original first Persona game where it's just weird, spooky vibes and just weird mystic powers.
Yeah, issue 2 was really fun.
Read it.
I like the vibe that they're going for. Where it's definitely more of like a weird like mystic mystery title
like-
that just happens to have these people that have strange powers and abilities. And I feel like Peach's art style just lends to that so well, and just the vibe that book is capturing. I'm really digging it.
Yeah, and just very small town horror,
Yes.
which
Which is so fun for X-Men. Like, what
I know.
yeah, we haven't had really almost a horror X-Men title.
I feel like
In a while,
the
in a
Ultimate
while.
titles are just delivering on like what they should be and what they I feel like are intending for, at least for this new run, of just like doing cool things with these characters that like at least the editors just won't allow in the mainline titles, or like, you know, the writers just wouldn't do. So
And
yeah,
it's a way to be funky. It's a way to
Yeah.
be weird and
just do something strange. Make Peter, you know, make Uncle Ben be the head of Daily Bugle with Jay Jonah, make him be best buds. And
Yeah, and just have them have like a buddy cop kind of flick relationship with them.
make Peter have a healthy and loving relationship with Mary Jane.
About time.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It can happen.
yeah.
And then after that, we got actually another X-Men book. It's X-Men Heir to Apocalypse, issue 1, which is going to be coming out also on the 12th of June, like Ultimate X-Men number 4.
What? More apocalypse?
Yes.
What's up with that guy?
I'm actually not 100% sure. I don't really. Anybody kind of know what's going on in Heir to Apocalypse? I have
Like,
a
are
feel-
they bringing back like, you know, Apocalypse is like reincarnation?
I
that
think
showed
it
up in,
might
yeah,
be
like,
actually I don't know. I feel like it might be a continuation of the Age of Apocalypse storyline.
huh.
Yeah, from like, so this is one of those.
The retro one that they did?
Marvel's been doing a lot of rehashing 90s storyline.
Oh,
Like, if you missed the 90s vibe, they're going to do a short run. Like, they
Yeah.
did it for Venom. They did
Yeah.
it for...
There's still
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, remember your childhood?
Here it is.
You're old enough now to buy expensive comic books. We're going to give you some really good variants.
money.
You got big kid money now.
Remember when your mom said you couldn't have that book on the supermarket? Well, now you can.
And she said, no, you cannot have that Lego Death Star, but now you can afford it. Do you want to buy it and put a dent in your wallet? Probably not, but you can afford it.
Then after that,
We don't sell Legos.
No, unfortunately
releasing July 17th, we have Deadpool role plays D&D.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So Marvel's been coming out with it's a role playing game booklet. It's a D6.
Yep, D6
Yeah.
system,
So it's a
literally
different
just
system.
3 D6s. You are all set.
Yeah, so we have like some of the regular manuals, but they came out with like a King storyline, a Scarlet Witch storyline. I think this is like their 4th story that they
Yeah,
dropped.
their 4th like expansion,
Yeah,
like
4th
book.
expansion.
Yeah.
It's a Deadpool role plays.
These guys are one-shots that you can play with a D6.
It's a campaign.
Yep,
Yes.
campaign, and also
full campaign, or is it a one-shot campaign? Like, you can play it in one sitting.
Probably
it's a big book. so
probably
I would
a.
assume-
I would say like you'd probably wrap it up in 3 or 4 sessions
Yeah,
at least.
that's what I would think.
Yeah. And I mean, as with all like, you know, tabletop expansions, it's going to be new power sets, new pre-made characters because it's Marvel one. That's a big draw for this Marvel system. It's like you can get your built, you know, characters. And this is how Spider-Man plays. This is how Deadpool plays. But also on top of it, your custom character where you can just throw a bunch of superpowers at your custom character.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You can
It's like when we used to play in the park.
Oh, I miss those days.
when you yell Wolverine and then you scratch your sibling.
No, I have all the powers.
Powers.
I can teleport and read minds.
No,
and
no.
karate kick you.
No, your laser
In the
beams didn't.
face.
I set up a force field. Your laser beam didn't hit me.
My favorite kid thing was like being Spider-Man on the edge of a pool.
Oh yes.
Then after that, coming out the 26th of June, we have Godzilla #1 facsimile.
Yes.
Yes,
They have a
yes.
foil.
Can you tell these boys like Godzilla?
It's so good.
Yeah.
Everybody
And
likes
that's also
big-
my birthday. Godzilla birthday present.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
So-
for his gift, just give him all those facsimiles.
Please do.
As-
I loved -1. Go watch -1 if you haven't watched -1.
Minus one's great.
-1 rocks.
So in the end of June, we have a lot of birthdays. So don't forget, we are going
Yep.
to do a collective birthday party sale because
Hell yeah.
And Day of Music too.
Yeah.
my
Triple
son's
whammy.
birthday is Day of Music on the solstice. I'm the 24th. He's the 26th. My husband's the 27th. We got 10 in May right after Free Comic Book Day.
Yep.
We got Funky in the early
July
July,
6th.
and then
4th of
Willie
July,
Willie next in the middle of July on the 16th,
He's
right?
June.
Oh no, he's June. He's
Yeah.
Gemini.
Yeah.
So anyway, our entire staff is Geminis and Cancers, and that's why you love us so much
Not
because
me.
we love
I
you.
mean, I'm actually a Taurus,
Um,
but
I'm the freak.
yeah.
You're a Libra, and that's okay.
That's true.
Because my second son is a Libra, and
yeah.
that's great too.
I don't know what any of those things mean.
It means we got birthdays that are all
Yeah.
grouped together, so it's great for a big old party.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
So end of June, keep your calendars and your eyes and your ears open for our big announcement of when we're going to do a party, which includes a righteous sale, because that's how we do it at the Comic Book Hideout.
Yeah.
Godzilla.
Godzilla.
More Godzilla.
Bring us Godzilla cake.
Then we have there's going to be a giant-sized Daredevil coming out June 12th.
I love Daredevil, and I feel like Eight loves Daredevil too. And I just want to say that I'm so excited that the Daredevil from the Netflix Daredevil is going to be
Yeah.
the
I love you,
Daredevil
Charlie.
in the
Yep.
new MCU stuff.
Love you, Charlie.
Because-
Love you, John. Love you.
And
Love those
and
nerds.
Punisher, right? They're
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they
he's
recast
back.
Punisher
John's-
too.
No, he's
so-
not.
John's
He's
back.
in it.
He's back.
Yeah.
John's back. Deborah and Wall is back as
Pretty much everybody's back.
as
Karen.
Karen.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
the most
yeah,
basic
all-
name. How do you forget Karen?
know.
Is it the
You just
full
hate her
cast
that
for,
much.
I
for
think
Daredevil
so. Yeah.
and Punisher
Yeah.
and Luke Cage?
Everybody.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know about Luke Cage and recently I know
Well, they have nothing to do with
Finn
that
Jones
storyline going on. So
posted
Maybe later.
he was reading a Power Man and Iron Fist comic.
Right.
So people were like, oh, maybe he's gonna be Iron Fist again, but I don't think so because I remember hearing rumors that they're gonna introduce a female Iron Fist in like an upcoming MCU project, and that they're gonna go forward with a female Iron Fist.
Because they were like, you know what we should do? We shouldn't just make a nice Asian character be Asian. We should just make her a white girl. Right? Right? Yeah. That makes it better? No?
No, yeah, pain.
Kira doesn't like that idea.
No.
I love Danny Rand.
So Danny Rand was fun in the 70s, but like, wow, you know, why you gotta white savior it?
I mean,
You know what
that's
I mean?
true.
It's a little dated.
Yeah, I that aspect of the character is a little like
Questionable.
Like, why you gotta be white?
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the kind of like the more modern takes of it where it's, you know, it's just Luke Cage and Danny Rand being like buddy cop,
Yeah.
like
So-
Heroes for Hire type stuff.
I love Heroes for Hire.
I like that stuff.
I just feel like
But any of the Kunlun stuff is
boy, white savior thing is real played out.
definitely, yeah.
So if you're gonna make a new Iron Fist, why would you?
Well, that's why I liked when they did in the it was like 2019 or when was the like newer Iron Fist run? where they
Oh,
had
it was
the-
like 2021.
yeah, where they did do a new
the
Iron
last
Fist.
Iron Fist. It's from one of the what's it called? Agents of
Atlas. It was
Atlas.
the
Oh!
new
Master,
Swordmaster. Yeah, it was Swordmaster.
Oh,
Shatters. It's in his arms now.
Yeah, so-
now he's Iron Fist.
wait, that's kind of sick.
That is cool as hell.
that's-
I know that.
that's hard
His
as
sword is
hell.
in his arm.
The end of the last season, I remember they kind of teased
Yeah.
It's fucking
other
sick.
people being
Yeah,
Iron Fist.
he punches you.
I
Kinda
mean,
rode
Iron
a way
Fist
out.
is not a mutually like
we are
it.
all Iron Fist.
You know,
Is
there could
Iron Fist on this list?
no.
No.
just-
we just like
sorry,
talking about
sorry.
Iron Fist.
Okay, get us back to
Sorry,
the
we're talking about Daredevil. But
We
we
were
gotta
talking
give
about
love to
Daredevil,
all
I just
the
got
street
excited.
level heroes.
We
Yes.
love 70s like Hong Kong action flicks.
Yes.
They are fun.
So did everyone just? Are we not getting any more Shang-Chi?
Any new?
No.
Uh,
I know
Or
more
They
Shang-Chi.
haven't mentioned anything. Like,
Okay. Well, we'll
I
put it on the
think-
podcast when we get new Shang-Chi.
I think
Okay.
he was having too much fun playing Ken.
Oh,
the,
yes.
the other Ken.
Yes.
true.
Yep.
The Ken that can do a backflip.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
The better
Comments.
In over the summer, for some reason, I don't know why they keep doing the Star Wars. Is they're doing an adaptation of the Ahsoka show, but as a comic, like they did with Obi-Wan and the first 2 seasons of Mandalorian, which is
Like I'm.
How
very
many
on the-
dips can we get?
Yeah,
Can we get a
it's-
double dip? Can we get a triple dip?
Stop
Can we
it.
get
Stop
dip,
it,
dip,
please.
Dip, 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 dip.
On the one, for me, I'm on the fence. Like on the one hand, it's just like, why do you do this? But the other hand, it's like not everybody has Disney Plus, so it might be good if you don't want to.
that's true.
Yeah, that's the only
Or
thing,
is
but
it
yeah.
Disney just saying, money please?
Well, but it's
It's
also
very
it's
much
also
like
like
that.
why like well I
It's-
guess like the writer is basically just figuring out the layouts
Yeah.
and that's it. You're not writing anything new.
Pretty much.
Wait,
Literally
it's just the show?
Yeah,
it's
they
literally
just
just
take the show
Yeah,
and
episode
redo
by
it as a
episode.
comic.
That's it.
They did it with Mandalorian. They did it with Obi-Wan.
Like I'm
Like-
for like giving, artists more work. Like that's cool, but it's like if the writer's
But why?
not doing
Yeah,
anything,
just twiddling their thumbs and be like,
yeah,
what
just like,
scenes
oh,
should we keep
can
in?
like,
Like,
this scene, just take a screenshot of that and it's like
Oh wait, it's the Ahsoka's just a show.
Yeah,
reaction?
it's literally just
Yeah.
a show. Like, yeah.
Fuck, you got lost
Like-
for a minute. Okay, bring it back, bring it back.
Yeah. Then releasing June 12th. Ooh. She did not like the date June 12th.
Oh, wow.
We have the TMNT Usagi Saturday morning.
I'm excited.
Oh,
I am
yeah.
excited. Like,
oh.
Stan isn't writing it, but the premise sounds interesting. I'm curious on what their take on it because literally every, comic adaptation of like the Turtles meeting Usagi, Stan has written it. So I'm very curious on like another person's take on it. So by the looks of it, it's going to be the 80s cartoon, Turtles line up with 80s Usagi, and they're going to his dimension. And with the cartoon, if I remember right, Usagi came to the 80s dimension. So it's gonna be interesting seeing a reversal on that.
Yeah.
So be kind of cool to see Usagi's Rogue Gallery and the 80s style. Would love to see Jay. Would love to see the Neko Ninjas. And I'm blanking out on the Bat Ninjas. But yeah, no, I'm very excited. Though, why do the 1 in 50 have to be the Stan incentive variant?
Stop making the cool covers
Yeah.
the most expensive ones.
Money please.
Stop it. I hate
Money
it.
please.
Yeah. And then speaking of Rogues Galleries, the next book we have is Nemesis Rogues Gallery.
Which I'm excited about.
Yeah.
I really like the Nemesis. It was so good.
Yeah, I've read the first two series are.
Jorge Jimenez, man.
Well, I like the first one.
Yeah, the first
second
one's amazing.
Jorge
I haven't seen I haven't read the first one.
The first one's if you.
I really like.
It's just
Jorge
fucked up.
Jimenez.
It's very, it's messed up, but
Yeah.
a fun read.
I think it's fun. For some people, it might not be very fun.
It's hit or miss, depending on how you can stomach some of the subject matter.
So yeah, we're just getting more Mark Millar
Yep.
universe. Is it Miller?
I've always said Miller, but
Yeah.
with
I
the
think it's
A,
Millar.
with the
It's
A,
always
Millar.
say
I've always
Millar.
said more.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
there's.
You're wrong.
He just wants to be special.
But yeah, they've been expanding on Mark Millar's whole universe for all his creative properties.
Yeah.
So is
they
Grant
had this
Morrison.
big.
Don't see me talking about
They
it.
had Big Game that was the big crossover event, and now we're back with Nemesis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gallery.
Which is cool. I like that even. It's funny. They were I just think Mark Miller was just you know what? All these characters I made over the last 10 years. Let's just throw them together. Let's do it. I don't want to make any more. Let's just start putting them all together.
It
Let's
was
just do
super
it.
fun. It was super fun.
Yeah, I heard it was a very Mark Millar, which is very shocking. And it was a very fun read. But next book, I don't really know what this is about. It's a cool name. It's Gotcha Man.
Oh my God!
What is
yeah.
you seem to know what this
So
is?
yeah, no,
And,
it was
Gotcha, man.
same Umbrella animated studio that did Tatsunoko Studio. They did source material for Speed Racer. They did Yatterman, and I looked into it. So basically, the publisher behind it, they hit up Tatsunoko, and it's a continuation of the original 70s Gotcha Man. So
Which is Battle of the Planet.
yeah, which is Battle of
Yes,
the Planets here.
Thank you,
Like,
thank you.
yeah.
That's what we needed.
The people
Battle
with
of
the
Planets.
people
Battle
with
of
the
Planets, yeah.
bird themed, or
Yeah.
the bird themed Power Rangers, right?
Pretty much.
Birdman?
Birdman, yeah.
You are talking about Birdman.
Bird, it's like Bird Theme Voltron.
Yes.
And actually, surprisingly, it's the source material for a lot of those like transforming heroes
Yes.
from Japan.
Yeah, it's what kind of started it. Yeah.
The prototype.
So check it out if
It's
you
very-
dig Voltron and all
there's
those.
actually a preview for it in Free Comic Book Day.
Ayo.
Like I flipped through it.
Fourth.
Yeah, no. So they're trying to nail the same art styles that they did in the '70s. That
Oh, man.
Tatsunoko like look.
That
Nice.
just instantly puts the Speed Racer song in my head for
Oh,
like the
yeah.
next 4 days.
What are you doing? Stop crying.
So that's very cool. Then some more kind of indie stuff. Some GI. We got 2 new GI Joe books
Yes.
releasing.
We have more than that because
Several.
they're doing the side stories. So we got the Destro,
yeah.
the Scarlet, the Duke. Those are all GI Joe books.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so all of those guys are going to be coming. The Destro is going to be coming out on the 19th of June. Scarlet is going to be coming out on the 5th of June. And then the next issue of Cobra Commander, well, I don't know if it's the next one, but I think it's going to be issue 7 is going to be coming out on the 18th of June. And then Duke is going to be coming out on the 5th.
Hell yeah.
And so far, Cobra is the only one I've been reading, but it's been really fun. It's been...
I just want to shout out to our customer, Phil Donnelly. I don't know if he listens to this podcast, but Phil Donnelly has been holding it down for G.I. Joe since the Hideout's been open. And so I'm really happy that G.I. Joe has been getting some love lately, but he has been like our hardcore.
I appreciate the Joe love too. I know that I'm not the what it stands for is not I don't know. But
You're not the target demographic for G.I. Joe.
No, I'm not. But growing up, that's what was in a lot of my dad's collection was just back issues of G.I. Joe, and so that's
And
what I read.
Batman.
And man, that I won't deny that I have a love for G.I. Joe, and if there's one branch of the military that I have the most respect for, it's G.I. Joe. And, good gracious.
I have a love for Channing Tatum. Does that count?
Yeah. I mean,
But
look,
only when he dances.
Let's be honest. If any faction of the government has a mute ninja
Come on now.
like kills people with swords like that, come on. Like that's and he has a wolf for a pet. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
I
no.
just like
so cool. So
The
cool.
80s were wild.
Yeah.
Overall, I'm
Like-
glad that the G.I. Joe universe is getting some new love with the whole Energon universe.
And they're
Also,
we're officially getting the live action Transformers G.I. Joe.
I
movie.
heard that.
yep.
Yeah,
I
which is
mean,
gonna be
also,
interesting.
I'm happy that they're doing like the villains focus with the miniseries because it kind of cements like, literally, I would argue that like G.I. Joe was like the series that starred the if evil, why cool designs.
True, dude. You cannot tell me that Destro is not one of the coldest looking villains.
The pop
like,
collar,
dude,
dude.
The
that's
pop
the thing, it's
collar,
like-
the full metal
Like,
head cast thing. I don't even know what it is, but it's and Cobra Commander, sick.
Like, I mean, and even like the origin stories,
They're
like,
coming out with
like-
a helmet for Cobra Commander.
oh yes,
Detachable mirror thing.
oh my God, yes.
Like, if anything for Phil.
Oh, no, we're going.
Phil, we need you.
It's a wearable
No,
Cobra Commander.
we need one for the hideout. So every time we film Picks of the Week, like Ramon will be in the shot because he'll be in the.
Shouldn't have told
But
me
yeah,
that.
no, like I'm happy that they're
You
doing
should look on your
Destro.
previews. You can order it too.
He's such a cool villain. Like his
so cool.
backstory is literally just like his ancestors were like a Scottish arm dealer, and he was selling weapons to like 2 warring factions. They found out about it, but they didn't want to kill him because they're like, he keeps giving us cool weapons, so we're gonna put
Damn,
like
he
an
does
iron-
have some cool
yeah,
shit.
and they put like an iron mask on them. On like his ancestor, and like his clan was just like, yo, this is cool as hell. So like every heir that is in our clan just wears this metal mask.
Huh.
Like, it's,
I kind of fuck with this punishment.
and like, yeah, I mean, going through the toy store as a kid, like
The
look
French
at-
didn't.
Yeah,
That's
French,
another
yeah.
story.
But yeah, no, it's the villains
History.
have cool
Leonardo
designs.
DiCaprio.
Like, I mean, if you're going through the toy section and you see G.I. Joe, it's like, which one are you gonna pick up?
G.I.
Like,
Joe
yeah.
is just like if the rule of
Yeah.
cool was applied to the military.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And then
Only the military could be cool.
If only the military
If
actually took those notes.
If only in comics.
Hire more ninjas with
Hire
like,
some
wolves
more
as pets.
ninjas with wolf pets.
yeah.
Yeah, and find
the point.
and evil organization that has
Kira,
style.
this is you. We're gonna put you in armor.
Yep.
We're gonna train you to kill.
No.
She's not in the shot.
Yeah.
Then the next book we're talking about is going to be releasing the 12th of June, and it's called Rifters, which is, I guess, about time cops.
Oh, hey, I like that.
Do
You know what we all love?
time cops.
Time cops.
No,
Time?
not cops.
I love the concept of time.
And that's it.
And that's it.
That's it.
It keeps on tripping into the future.
So,
Ticking.
Reminder on
It
Free
keeps on
Comic Book Day.
ticking,
Or tick. No,
ticking into the future. 10.
Yes.
Damn.
Time keeps on
ticking.
ticking.
I don't know.
Ticking,
I
ticking
need to get my,
into the future.
Oh, this is a
Wow.
reference.
Yeah.
This is
I get it. No, I don't.
And Michael Jordan.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
He dunks. He do the jump. Yeah, he do.
Michael Jordan.
then
Gonna
there.
let 10 get away with that?
And welcome. to
Listen,
the gym.
sometimes I hear things. Sometimes and I'm like, this sounds
Okay,
cooler.
comic books,
Yeah,
comic
comic
books.
books. Yeah.
Then we got next is Misery, which is going to be a Spawn book. A Spawn universe.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So that's directly following up with Cyan, who is the daughter of Wanda, who's Al's ex-wife. The whole reason he came back was for her.
Oh,
Wanda. They couldn't have kids when they were together. He comes back, and she moved on, and she had a kid. But
Come on, Wanda.
calling Cyan
Come on, Wanda.
and like all the
She needed that D.
ramifications and effects that she had watching, the Armageddon play out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, it's kind of interesting. They're building more on the Spawn universe.
Yeah.
This is like the 7th Spawn universe title now.
As if we needed more.
You know what just never stops getting made? Spawn.
We love Spawn.
Like Spawn.
Have you heard of the new Spawn 2099? It's out now. Go get it.
That's
Rat,
true.
rat,
Rat City
rat
number
City.
one.
Rat City.
Rat City, bitch.
Next, we got a book called Precious Metal, which is going to be releasing the 5th of June. That's a Little Birds prequel.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you read Little Birds?
Little Birds is good.
Is that
That's cool.
Cool. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
that's cool.
cool.
That's cool.
What?
Also, Plastic, Death and Dolls.
Ooh,
Remember
Plastic.
that creepy book about the guy who had a sex doll and then was murdering everyone?
Hey.
That's
They're
what
doing
Plastic's
it again.
What?
yeah, and
All right.
That one's going to be releasing on the 12th of June, which is going to be fun. It's called Plastic, Death and Dolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, hey.
Doug Wagner was like, money please.
More. now.
More nasty. You need nasty? I could do nasty.
Then we have a book called Remote Space, which is going to be also releasing on that same day, the 12th, which is a new sci-fi book.
Cool.
Do you guys know anything?
Not
I know.
really.
Done in 20,
Trying to remember.
24.
I didn't put a note on that one.
Boom.
Boom, there we go.
Yeah.
That's in the future.
Kira doesn't like the future.
Yeah.
Kira, you don't like the future.
No.
It's okay.
But,
Doesn't like how everything's chrome in the future.
No. Then next we have Transformers number 9.
From the description of that looked pretty epic. It's
Beginning of the Cybertron war, baby.
Yup, releasing on the 12th of June.
Yep.
It's gonna be tight. I think.
they got a free comic book day book.
They
coming
do.
out.
From the whole Energon universe. We got
With Ryan Otley art.
Ryan Otley and Daniel Warren Johnson have a Transformers tie-in. It's also got a Void Rivals tie-in and a Etta Joe universe tie-in as well. But I mean,
Yep.
come on, Ryan Otley doing Transformers. You can't go wrong
So
with that.
good.
Can't go
So
wrong.
good.
If someone asked me 5 years ago if Ryan Otley was going to be doing a comic that my staff was so freaking excited about that wasn't Spider-Man
Or Invincible.
or Invincible, I would not know.
Well, I wasn't that excited for his Spider-Man run.
I mean, didn't you remember seeing that panel where Megatron did like the flip motion and like,
Did he do in this?
No, he didn't. He didn't, man. He
It's a
did.
joke.
It was a joke.
I duped. My own show.
Kira wants to
He
go
says,
home.
I am
Ramon,
tired.
you have
it's
any?
past
You
my
have
bedtime.
anything else to talk about?
No, I don't think there's much else. I think we went through everything we needed to on the list. We kind of got through the free comic book day stuff.
We only took 87 hours.
Yeah. So
How much have we gone over the?
I don't.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, well, either way, since
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
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 I want to say that we need to give a shout out to our wonderful
Yeah, shout
Hey.
production
Show.
team, our Geek Speak awesome dudes, Henry and co.
We're now less scuffed.
Yes.
little bit,
Yep.
little bit.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
It's like
Massive
the most
upgrade.
legit setup we've ever had.
yeah, 100%.
I feel legit. I feel legit holding this microphone.
Feels like
Too
I'm
legit.
in Red Letter Media.
But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys listened this far, that is crazy. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
And for all of our crazy rambling and stuff like that.
We want to say thank you. We love you. Come see us. Come hang out.
Alrighty, guys.
Laters.
I don't know.
Okay, let's go the fuck home.
Alrighty, thank you guys. Bye.
Pre-order Power Hour, the Comic Book Hideout podcast, is hosted by Ramon Casada, Nate Basil, Nathan Smith, and Mark Garcia. It is produced by GLYNNES Speak and Bryce Rankins. This episode was edited by Ramon Casada. Logo designed by Nate Basil. Find us on Instagram at Comic Book Hideout. The opinions voiced by the host of this podcast do not necessarily reflect that of Comic Book Hideout Incorporated. Copyright 2024. All rights reserved.